The idea of a secret elite controlling the course of history from behind the scenes gained widespread popularity in the 20th and 21st centuries, but its roots go far deeper, back to ancient mystical societies. The Illuminati, allegedly formed in 18th century Bavaria, were officially disbanded, yet some believe they evolved into a global network controlling finance, politics, media, and religious processes. Researchers like David Icke and Jim Mars have written extensively about these covert structures' influence on cults, messianic movements, and even divine revelations. According to these theories, the Illuminati are not simply interested in world domination. Their aim is to create a new world order built on a single government, a single currency, and ultimately, a single global religion. In this new spiritual system, there would be no room for traditional Christianity, Islam, or Buddhism. Instead, a synthetic belief system would emerge, centered around a so-called enlightened savior, merging science, esotericism, and mysticism. Enter the concept of a new messiah, a figure the elites allegedly plan to present to the world as the second coming of Christ, but entirely under their control. This would not be religion as we know it. It would be a tool of mass psychological governance, supported by technology, UFO narratives, and the orchestrated sudden revelation. One of the central elements of the conspiracy theory surrounding the Illuminati-controlled Second Coming is the mysterious Project Blue Beam, first described by Canadian journalist Serge Monast in 1994. According to Monast, global elites, with the cooperation of NASA and the UN, are developing a high-tech plan to stage a worldwide religious event using holographic projections, artificial intelligence, and neuropsychological manipulation. At the heart of the project lies the idea of a massive heavenly show, holograms appearing in the skies around the world, tailored to different cultural contexts. People in the West may see Jesus. Those in the East might see Buddha, Krishna, or Muhammad, all eventually merging into a single divine figure, the so-called savior of humanity. Monast claimed the plan consists of 4 phases. 1. Undermining archaeological and scientific foundations of religion, including fake discoveries like a new gospel. 2. Massive holographic shows in the sky, simulating divine apparitions. 3. Use of telepathic and auditory technology, making people hear the voice of God inside their heads. 4. A staged supernatural event, meant to convince the masses of the Messiah's divine nature. Though many dismissed Monast's claims as paranoia, the development of modern technology, from AI and holography to satellite systems like Starlink, has made blue beams seem less implausible. The theory suggests that the Illuminati are not merely crafting a new religion, but engineering a techno-spiritual simulation of God's kingdom. If the Illuminati truly intend to present a controlled Messiah, a natural question arises: what will this figure look like? According to various leaks, interpretations, and predictions, he won't resemble the classical image of Jesus found in icons or church art. Instead, his appearance will be carefully designed to be universally appealing, charismatic, and modern. Someone who doesn't threaten anyone but impresses everyone. This figure would likely blend features from multiple cultures and religions, possess a powerful aura, potentially even supernatural abilities, likely produced by advanced technology, advocate for global peace and the abandonment of traditional religions in favor of a higher knowledge, call for the creation of a new world order, positioning himself as both spiritual and possibly political leader. Some researchers suggest this Messiah may not be entirely human. He could be a genetically engineered individual or even a synthetic personality, physically flawless, intellectually brilliant, and behaviorally optimized through neural technology or artificial intelligence. There's also a strong link to the UFO phenomenon. This savior could arrive from the stars, enhancing his mystique and credibility. Such a scenario aligns with ancient prophecies, including Christian warnings about a false Christ or Antichrist who would perform signs and wonders to deceive many. Matthew 24, verse 24. 4 false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and miracles to deceive. In short, the new Messiah might be less of a divine figure and more of a crafted icon of power, built to rule hearts through spectacle rather than spirit. In order for the introduction of the new Messiah to appear natural and not provoke mass rejection, the public consciousness is already being actively prepared. According to conspiracy theorists, the Illuminati are operating through pop culture, mainstream media, and the entertainment industry, embedding symbols, narratives, and imagery that make the arrival of the chosen one seem expected and even desirable. It's evident how often, in recent years, films and TV shows have featured themes of the Second Coming and a Messiah of unclear origin, Messiah, Netflix, prophets with divine powers, leading humanity to a new world, Dune, Eternals, Man of Steel. Extraterrestrial beings acting as saviors or teachers, Arrival, Prometheus, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Through music videos, cartoons, and even video games, the image of the elevated humanitarian leader opposing the old tyrants, traditional religions, and institutions is being promoted. At the same time, traditional religious systems are being discredited. Scandals in churches, satirical depictions of priests, ridicule of Old and New Testament doctrines, and the mockery of dogma. All of this is breaking down the foundation to build a new cult. Another key factor in this system is technological mysticism, the belief in AI as the higher mind, the concept of the quantum singularity as a new deity, and the idea of universal consciousness accessible through transhumanist practices. Thus, the public is being prepared for the idea that God may not come as a bearded elder, but as a young, charismatic figure in a shining robe, descending from the heavens in a future spaceship, and no one will be shocked. On the contrary, they'll be waiting for him. Many sacred texts warn that, before the true end of times, a false Messiah will appear, someone who will deceive nations with miracles and speeches. In Christianity, this is the figure of the Antichrist, who will have authority to act for 42 months, Revelation 13 verse 5, and will cause all to receive the mark, Revelation 13 verse 16. These prophecies, according to researchers, surprisingly align with the scenario of a second coming controlled by the Illuminati. Interestingly, similar warnings can be found in Islam. The figure of the Dajjal, the false prophet, who will appear with illusions and will be worshipped by people as God. Only the true Mahdi and Isa, Jesus, will expose him. In Judaism, there are also concepts of false prophets who lead people astray with counterfeit signs and wonders. Conspiracy theorists argue that the global elite is preparing for the greatest deception in human history, a simulation of the divine return, whose goal is not salvation, but subjugation. A united humanity, deprived of religious differences, moral values, and critical thinking, will become the perfect breeding ground for total control, spiritual, digital, and biometric. If the new Messiah program truly exists, it's not religion, but a technologically advanced cult, manipulated in real time, where faith is replaced by suggestion, miracles by special effects, and salvation by new enslavement.